Welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk about how to elevate. Let's get on to the video. Hey everybody. So my name is Anisha. I've been doing YouTube for almost 2 years on and off, but today we're going to talk about how to elevate. All right, let's get into it. Okay. If you're new here, I do my makeup while I talk shit, while I give advice, or whatever I feel like talking about that week. And I post every Sunday. And yeah, I might start posting twice a week now because I'm just kind of like, hey, like, why not, right? So let's talk about how to elevate. So how to elevate comes to 3 sections: your mindset, the way you navigate in life, and also your goals. So the first thing we're going to talk about is your mindset. If you want to elevate in life, your mindset should be everything, okay? Everything, okay? You cannot go into it without being consciously ready that things are going to fuck with you mentally and emotionally, but mostly emotionally. You cannot elevate without being restricted emotionally first. And a lot of people do not understand that because they're going to be like, oh, but like, how we're going to do that? So the first thing you have to do when you elevate is you really have to know what you want to elevate on. If you want to elevate on your body, you got to start figuring out, okay, I want to do this, so my body can look better. If you want to elevate on your makeup, you got to look around and be like, okay, so I have to, mind the noise in my house. I have to figure out how to like, shit. I was talking about something. Bloopers. This is what happens when you're in a noisy household. I was talking about elevating by my mind, my body. So you have to figure out your plan. You have to plan what type of thing you're gonna eat. You have to plan what you're gonna do. Now, elevation is very needed in your life because if you do not elevate, you're going to feel very, very behind. You're going to feel like you're never advancing. In life, you have to elevate at least twice a year. Okay? Twice a year, you need to have a different shift. The way you start in your year, in the 6 months, you're supposed to be a whole different person. And after those 6 months, when you hit another January, you're supposed to have a different mindset. Because in life, you got to evolve and adapt. Elevating is about adapting. But it doesn't start with you. It starts with the way you think mostly. If you're always negative and you're always trying to make an excuse for something, you're going to have a very hard time elevating in life. Oh my God. Why am I bleeding? Life does not want me to talk about this. If you're going to elevate in life, you got to start by... Give me one moment. If you're going to elevate in life, first thing first is you're going to have to go through healing. You're going to have to go through the hardship of it. You're going to have to face your fears. You're going to have to face whatever bothers you because that's how you're going to do it. You need to release the trauma you feel. You need to release your old habits and your old ways. It's like spring cleaning. Okay, you gotta release your shit. And another way to elevate is your physical lifestyle. Okay, get rid of the old stuff. Get rid of the clothes you're never gonna wear again. I am sure there is a bunch of things in your life that you do not need, and you're keeping it because sentimental values. But do those things actually bring something to you? They probably don't. You think they do, but they don't. That water bottle that's been sitting on your desk for about 3 weeks has nothing to do with you. Just cleaning and sparing things out of your room makes you elevate. Another thing when you elevate is you gotta really, really be clear on what you want. Okay? Clear what you want spiritually and mentally. because you cannot elevate if you're not spiritually where you want to be. So it does require effort. You cannot elevate without effort. And while elevating, it's not going to be smooth. It's not going to be smooth. The first time you elevate, you're going to feel really good. When you start, you're going to feel really good. It's called the high. You know, the runner's high? That's how you're going to feel. You're going to feel really good while doing it. And then you're going to get this downtime, the sugar crash, which you're going to feel like, oh my God, like my life sucks. My life does not resonate with me. I feel like a bunch of failure. But that's where it gets tricky. But that's where you hit your pinnacle. That's where you're supposed to look at yourself and go, no, I'm going to push through this and I'm going to show up. And that's where you elevate. And that's how you're going to elevate. Because if you can push through the shitty part of it, you can do anything. And that is the hardest part. And that is where I see a lot of women or men actually fail, because it'll get hard and they'll give up and they'll tell themselves, oh, like I'll do it another time. No, it's now. You're giving the choice now. You need to show up now. Okay. And in the process that you elevate, a lot of people are going to hate you. A lot of people are going to hate you, and a lot of people are not going to understand you. A lot of people will say, you look unstable. That is part of it. When you're elevating, you are going to feel unstable, okay? And emotionally, that's the second part I'm getting to. Emotionally, you will not be able to fulfill anyone, because that is a way of putting yourself first. And putting yourself first is kind of letting go and ditching other people. And some people will not understand it because they're not there yet. And then they'll look at you and be like, oh, you don't understand that you have this to do. You have this responsibility to do. But you cannot elevate without you putting yourself first. Okay, it happens. You got to put your responsibilities first. And it's the hardest thing to do. And a lot of people are going to shit on you for it, because they're going to be like, you could elevate and also do everything. No, you can't. You cannot do 5 things at the same time. None of them are going to be good. None of them are going to be satisfactory. None of them are going to be like, oh yeah, she did them well. You cannot do 5 things at once. That's why when you elevate, you got to start with every little thing with steps. If you want to lose weight in your elevation, you can only focus on doing that first. And once you completed that, it's going to become routine. One of the things about elevation is discipline. And discipline, let me tell you, discipline and consistency is the hardest thing for anyone. Okay? It doesn't matter, because you're always going to lack it because you don't have the mindset for it. Okay? Because we're human beings in the end of the day. End of the day, when things go south, you know what we do? We give up. We give up because in our head is like, oh, what's the point of doing this if I'm getting shitted on? That's exactly what they want. They want to see you not fucking get it, because you're literally going like, yeah, you're right, I cannot do this. So no, if anyone, you're ever in a stage of elevation and you're in those stages, if anyone goes, oh my God, like you cannot do this, you go, maybe I can't. But you keep going, you keep doing it, because you know what, you're gonna be really happy once it's done. Once it's done, you're gonna be really happy. Also, elevation is taking a leap of faith. You cannot elevate without taking a leap of faith. And when you take a leap of faith, as someone who is currently doing it, it is not that good. It is not what your movie is showing you. You are going to feel like you have nothing together. That's how I've been feeling for the last couple days. I literally hit the second stage of, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. Today I didn't even want to do this, but I showed up because you know what? I'm in an elevation stage. I'm in a stage where I am here to reach people who are in the same mindset as me, who are like, I really want to do my goals, but I don't know how to start. I can't give you a guideline about that. You just got to do it. Okay? You just got to do it. You just got to be like, you know what? Like, what's the issue? What's going to change if I really try? Seriously, like, sometimes you have to think, like, if you want to elevate, what do you have to lose? Like, what do you have to lose? And a lot of people, I have rent to pay, I have this to pay. Yeah, but so does half the world, and they take a chance and they do it. So what? You're gonna live in a smaller space. So what? You're gonna do a part-time job until you get your feet together. That's life. That's life. And if you're gonna elevate, you gotta work hard and you gotta beat the odds. Okay? You gotta beat the odds. You gotta beat the stigma of living like everybody else. Average people do not elevate. Okay? They stay where they're at because they get comfortable. That's one of the things I want to talk about. You cannot elevate if you want comfort. With elevation, comfort is nowhere near it. You have to be okay with being uncomfortable. And once you get okay with being uncomfortable, that's where you're gonna see the real comfort. A lot of these people want luxury and all of this stuff, but people who are rich and luxurious get that because they get uncomfortable. They go do the uncomfortable thing. You cannot have those type of luxuries without doing uncomfortable things, because that's how you get there. That's how you get seen. Like, look at prime example, Hunger Games. Everybody has watched Hunger Games in their lives, and one thing that Katniss does that stood her out, and that's literally the guy who managed her told her, you do something that stands you out. You know what she did? She shot the apple that was on their tray to get their attention. That's how you elevate. That's how you show people shit. Look, I fucking have the guts to do it. And people hate that. People hate that. Just look how the big guy was so threatened by her because they knew that she was not going to take whatever they were performing for her to do. Oh, one thing about elevation, people will want you to be a certain way because that's how they did it. Listen, the way you elevate is because it's you and it's authentic. That's the best way to elevate. You cannot elevate because this person did it this way. No, you have to find what is you to the core. And in the process of it, yeah, you're going to be hated. Yeah, you're going to get told this is not how you do it. There's so many better ways to do it. But you know what? Let them talk. Oh my God. I look crazy, but it's cool. Like, let them talk. You know, when you elevate, no one's happy about it. No one. Not even the people you live with. You know why? Because you're doing something they have never done. You're doing something they have never done. And they think, oh my God, you're fucking crazy. You are doing things that are not supposed to be. It's not traditional. No one does that. Some people will tell you, I have not seen. Like, my mother sometimes would tell me, like there was some things that I would not do as a child because I was always elevating, that like they'll be like, oh, this and this never did that, why do you want to do that? Because I am not them. One thing you have to understand for elevate, you cannot compare yourself to other people. If you compare yourself, you're going to plummet. You're going to plummet so quick that it's going to fuck with you. You cannot compare yourself. Comparing yourself will be like the poison of it. And another thing about elevation is you cannot prove to anyone but you. No one will see it, okay? No one will see it unless other than you. When you elevate, it's for you. You have to do it for you. I know there's a third thing I talked about, but I do not remember. But this is my fucking video. You gotta claim your power. That's how you elevate too. You gotta claim your power. I do not know what I talked about, but shit, I'm still giving you advice. And if you don't take it, I can't do anything about it, okay? You just have to go with the rolls of life and the waves of life. And waves of life are not easy, okay? Some days you're gonna have the good waves where you're like, oh, this is nice. And some days you're gonna go, fuck, I hate this. Like, I don't want to be here. And the one thing when you elevate, you do not tell anyone that you're elevating. You do not tell anyone that you want to do this or that, because they're going to put their opinions. They're going to try to tell you, do it like this. They're going to try to tell you, oh my God, you do not got this. You got to keep this shit to your chest because it's yours. You got to claim it that it's yours and no one else can take it from you. That's how you're going to elevate. You have to understand, elevation does not happen overnight, okay? It does not happen overnight. Look at rich people. I'll give you one example, like Jeff Bezos. Like, he's one of the richest man in society. Like, in society, he's one of the richest man. But he has been doing Amazon since 1995. And Amazon did not bump till like late 2000s. And do you think people didn't look at him and go, you probably suck? Definitely. But he did. And look at him. He's the richest man alive right now. He's the fucking richest man. He has all the money that he needs. But doesn't mean that you're gonna get money because you elevate, but it comes with it, because money is an energy. Money flows to you. When money sees you that you're trying to peak and get there, it will come to you. It will fucking run at you. But you gotta be really smart with money. And I think a lot of people, you see a lot of influencers, they have money, but can they sustain it? That's the real thing. Money can elevate you, but you need to know how to sustain it. You cannot have good money. Listen, you can be a billionaire and still be broke because you do not know how to handle your money. Okay? You cannot just think I need money to elevate, because it will not come to you. Money is just a currency. Money is just an energy. You give money the power. You give money the essence that it has. That is why money works. That is why those billionaires have that much money, because they give it the power. They make the money a thing. Money is nothing. Just imagine how would life be if there was no money? Before money did not exist, and they would exchange with things. And that is much, much worse, because let's just say you are in a need, you are very, very, very sick, and you're gonna have to give away the heirloom because you're sick. That's much worse. So you have to look at money like it's just a piece of paper. Just a piece of paper. And in your life, it's just coming. Piece of paper. It's easy to find. Just think about it like you're printing it every day. When I think about money, my money is always printing, and it's always in my bank account, and it's always coming, and it's always growing, and I know where I'm gonna put it. Money, they always say, money should have, each penny in your bank account should always have a role, and that is very real, because you know why? Because money is an energy, and when you give a role to it, it does something. It creates more, and that's how elevation is. You have to give each moment and each thing in your life a fucking role, or else you're not gonna elevate. If you wake up every day and staying in your bed, and some of you go, we're unemployed. No, you can still elevate and be unemployed. Go out there, use your resources. Especially if you're a woman, you definitely have makeup in your room. You definitely have a camera. And if you don't have a light, you probably have an iPad. Shine that and do your videos. Put yourself out there, okay? Do not be capitalized. One thing I will take from one person in my household is do not give in to capitalism. Be capital. But he did not say that. In my eyes, you should be capitalism. You should be capitalism. So what? You're gonna be, that's so wrong. You are already in it. Even if it doesn't matter how activist you are, how much you preach something, we are all in it. Okay? You eat every day, you shit every day, you clothe yourself every day, and that is giving to capitalism. That makes society. Okay, you pay a rent every day, that's capitalism. You pay your water bill every day, that's a different type of capitalism. We're never going to escape that, okay? There will be no economy if there's no capitalism. Everybody talks about recession, but you are not in a recession, okay? You're not. Yes, things are getting higher and higher, but if you look at it, every year it became like that. But we're elevating as a society. We are much more people, too. Of course, things are going to get pricier than 10 years ago. Of course, you're gonna pay more rent. There's not like how many people. There's probably 1 million or 2-3 million people more in society, and capitalism needs to fucking rake that in. Cause it's oh, I brought this in, and I need to rake that in. And I'm saying, you gotta take fucking profit. And if you believe there's a recession, this is the time you profit off of it. This is the time you take from cap. You take it, because you know why? I know I'm talking about money now, because that's part of elevating. You know why you have to take advantage of this recession if you believe in it? Because that's how you're going to get rich. That's how you're going to get money. Because when things are going to stabilize itself, you will be already known. You'll be already popular. You know what you're going to be able to do? You're going to be able to shoot up. All the people that became rich and everything is because they took advantage of a recession. Do not look recession as in like, oh my God, I'm a broken camel. I have to wait till everything. No. Recession is the time that you need to go on and take. Because all the rich men that you see, that's what they're waiting for. That's how they stay rich. It's because when things got really weird, you know what they did? They blew their money a little bit more. And you know what? When things are real good, you know who rised? Them. They fucking ripped up there. Okay, they fucking are up there and enjoying life and elevating. And you're probably like, but... And some of them didn't have money. And some of them you're gonna know they didn't have money, okay? Not every rich people is fortunate. Not every rich people is good with their money. But since they played so risky, life fucking gave them something. Oh, another thing about elevation. You gotta take risks. You will not elevate if you do not take a risk in life. And I think people are always scared of that because they have fear of losing out or FOMO or like their fear that they're gonna get scattered. When you take a risk, life rewards you. Of course, don't take a risk that is like you're going to lose out your house, like you gamble your house. I'm not telling you to do that. Do not fucking do that. Okay, that will not help you. But when you risk good things like putting yourself in a business, trying out a new career because you have a gut feeling, you have to go do it. That's another thing. In elevation, you gotta follow your gut. You gotta follow your gut. And you cannot let anyone tell you how it is. You cannot let the person who has never done anything and stayed in scarcity tell you how it is. Because you know what? That person will not understand. That person is in comfortableness. That person is enjoying being comfortable. So if you're gonna elevate, you gotta get out of the comfort zone. Anyways, someone was gonna come in my room, so I had to stop. But if you're gonna elevate, you're gonna have to fucking get out of your comfort zone. That's for sure. You cannot sit here and expect things are gonna go well. It won't. And yeah, you're gonna be like, but what if I make no money? That's a mindset that you're choosing. I told you, money's an energy. You can manifest that shit. Okay? You can manifest that shit. Money's an energy. Why are you thinking you're not going to make any money? Because you're scared. You're putting your fears. No, you have to think money is always here. Money is always going to come in and come out. Okay? Always. So money is an energy. Okay? Don't ever go like, I'm not going to make money. If you're going to think you're not going to make money, you're not going to make money. It's like saying, oh my God, I'm not going to get my dream body. Well, no shit. You're not doing anything about it. You're not doing anything to do better. You're not doing anything to be like, okay, I'm going to do this differently. Or, okay, maybe I should change my diet. Oh, okay, maybe I should do my makeup this certain way. Same thing with money. Money is hustling, okay? If you work hard and you put the intention there and in your head, you know you're going to make money, you're going to make money, okay? Ask one person when you tell them, how'd you make money? They're always going to go, it just happened. You know why? Because they fucking kept going, even when there was no money. And then life said, oh, shit, okay. We'll give it to you. Because how can we not give it to you? You're already doing everything. Elevation is like that. It's like a money. It's like when you try for things, it will just happen. Like, if you keep going, it will just happen. Even when it's bad, if you keep going, it will just happen for you. Anyways. I don't have time right now, but I really hope whatever I said resonated. And if you elevate in life, let me know. And if you're willing to, let me know in the comments. So please like and subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed my talk. I enjoy doing these videos for you guys, and I'm not here to shit on you guys. Like, listen, like, you got this. I know that you know what you know. For you, it's best. And I am going to be always here to support you guys, no matter what. So, like and subscribe, and we'll see each other again Sunday. Bye.